Hello, my name is Sonja Gee, and it's my privilege to serve as the president and CEO of MAM Houston, an organization that for more than 40 years has helped local Houston families build stable, meaning-filled lives in vibrant communities. It's my honor to be with you all tonight and to congratulate each of you at this graduation and the incredible celebration of 20 years at Rising Tide. In Houston and the work that we're doing over the past 40 years, our community has changed quite a bit. And so as an organization, we've also had to change our services and our approach. Today, the families that we serve, they're primarily immigrants, full of promise, yet often lacking support, skills, opportunities to gain the stability, build resources, and to reach their hopes and dreams in their new forever home. Many years ago, an immigrant family came to Houston and they didn't know anybody, they didn't speak English, but they came with a dream. And it was a dream to give their children a better life than what they had experienced in their poverty-stricken homeland. They were very entrepreneurial, just like many of you that are here this evening, or today, I guess, for you guys. It's evening for me. I'm across the world right now. And when they came, they opened up a restaurant, and it was food that nobody in the local community knew anything about or was familiar with. But this business allowed them to grow. They eventually grew. They bought their own home. They were able to send their three children to college. Two of them were daughters, which would have never been possible in their home country. And they were so incredibly proud of this. And then straight out of college, their son went on to study at the University of Texas Law School. He chose to become a lawyer because he really wanted to represent and support and defend his community. But upon graduation, he applied to over 30 law firms and he didn't receive a single job offer. It was so incredibly disappointing, especially because this lack of interest was not because he was an underperformer. On the contrary, he was a really strong student. He graduated early and he graduated at the top of his class. The reason that he didn't get this job offer was simply because he was a person of color, and this was Houston in the 1960s. And I share this story with you today because this amazing man was my father. So I share with Alpha in coming to salute the amazing parents in our lives that have influenced, so much of who we are. My grandparents and my father, one of the very first Chinese families to migrate to Texas in the 1940s. Their entrepreneurial spirit allowed them to create new opportunities for their family. But the local community as a whole just was not ready for people like my dad to use their gifts to enrich other people's lives and their community. But as often is the case with immigrants and other marginalized people, my dad did not let those barriers that he faced stop him from putting his best effort forward. After working for the Attorney General for a couple of years, he opened his own law firm, taking whatever cases he could just to put food on the table. And fortunately, not long after, the U.S. passed a new immigration act that opened up opportunities for immigrants around the globe to immigrate in the U.S. And this new act and other subsequent changes in policies created a whole new area of law specialization, now known as the field of immigration law, a space where the exact same qualities that had excluded my father from mainstream job opportunities in the past actually became one of his greatest strengths in his career and his future. So today I'm so proud to share that my father and his law firm actually eventually gained national recognition as a leader in their field of specialization. And through his work and business, my dad was able to live out his life's purpose, which was to open up doors to others seeking opportunities. Those doors that so often were closed to him and to his family. And a really fun fact for the foodies out there, my dad represented nearly all of the original chefs and restaurateurs of Houston's Chinatown. So if you're ever down in Houston and you're enjoying dim sum or Peking duck, I hope you'll think of him. He's made his impact. So I'm so, so proud of my parents and grandparents, and I was inspired to follow in their entrepreneurial footsteps. My grandparents started their small business just to be able to provide for their family. My dad started his small law firm when other opportunities were closed to him. My husband and I started a small business of our own to address the lack of educational opportunities available in the rural town in Mexico where my husband grew up and where he and I started our family. When I moved there, there was not a single place in town to buy books, and the local library had less reading material than many US homes. And so we had a dream, and our dream was to open a bookstore. Most people were very skeptical. They were like, why books if nobody here reads? That's why there's no bookstores here. Why not tacos or tourism? And I guess that would make sense if you look at people for face value instead of seeing them for their untapped potential. But we thought, how can locals come to love reading and value education if they never have access to books and they never have the opportunities to grow into their fullness? And so, as all businesses do, we had our ups and downs. We spent years on a really tight budget. We were eating rice and beans. We were reinvesting our earnings into our business. But as the town grew, so did our business. And it is with much, much pride and joy that I share today that just like RTC, our family small business is celebrating its 20th anniversary this year. So my husband and I spent many years personally in the trenches, just like each of you have and will. But our mission really outgrew us, and we had to build a strong team to carry on the work. So today, the family-run business is actually run by local members of the community, many of whom had never read a single book cover to cover when we hired them. And today, they are some of the most influential promoters of reading and literacy in the city, helping improve countless lives every year. So needless to say, I have lived and witnessed and experienced the power of entrepreneurship for the transformation of lives and many diverse communities. And it is with incredible joy and passion that I join you from halfway across the world. It's almost 1 o'clock where I am right now. But together with my team from MAM, we celebrate you, the 2024 spring graduates, the power of entrepreneurship that Rising Tide Capital cultivates, supports, and champions in New Jersey and across the country and globe through its network, transforming individuals, families, and communities. So whether you're just beginning your entrepreneurial journey, or if you're taking really important new steps with your business, don't ever underestimate the power that you have to make a difference in your community now and for the generations to come. Congratulations, graduates.